ambassadors, and emissaries from many countries who have been to Jamaica. And I can tell you without fear of contradiction that Her Excellency Angie Shakira Martinez is one of the finest that we have had in Jamaica. So, Your Excellency, we greet you this evening along with Ambassador the Honourable Edward Perez, who is also the Dominican Republic Ambassador for the Law of the Sea. Our colleague ministers of government who are here tonight, and the parliamentary representatives from various areas, members of our diplomatic corps and the consular corps, the senior public officials and representatives of the private sector from both Jamaica and the Dominican Republic, my President of the Senate and his beautiful bride, Rose, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, muy buenas noches. Good evening, good night. And then I could have said buenos tardes y buenas noches, just to make sure we understand that it's still evening and the night is yet to come. It gives me great pleasure to bring you greetings on this very special occasion as we join you, Ambassador Martinez, your husband, your staff, and the friends of the Dominican Republic in celebrating our 170th anniversary of independence of your great nation. On behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, I congratulate your country on the achievement of this significant milestone. I must first tender apologies on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator the Honourable Kamina Johnson-Smith, who regrettably is unable to be with us as she's on official travel. And in fact, I should have joined her in Nigeria for a very important engagement which she is undertaking on our behalf. And I'm excited about the prospects of that outturn when she returns. She conveys her sincere best wishes to Ambassador Martinez, her family, and to all who are gathered here this evening to celebrate this important occasion. We are relieved that the current situation in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic have allowed us to be able to celebrate with you, our friends from the Dominican Republic, as well as with those who continue to serve their country with distinction. I'm excited about that prospects because very few of us thought that after March 2020, we would have been here in this fashion this evening. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this milestone celebration this evening presents the perfect opportunity for us to reflect upon the achievements of the people of the Dominican Republic since they defended their rights to sovereignty and independence over 17 plus decades ago. The motto of the Dominican Republic, Dios, Patria, Libertad, God, Homeland, Liberty, reflects core values which Dominicans defend with great resolve and respect. In this regard, the people of the Dominican Republic have much to celebrate and give their rich historical and cultural heritage. There's no doubt that the commemorative efforts this evening for this special occasion will foster the civic pride evident throughout the nation and in their diaspora. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be remiss of me to speak about the Dominican Republic without referring to the considerable economic and social progress that the country has enjoyed in recent years. And I think you heard a bit of that in what I called a very carefully crafted, humble, yet almost boastful expression by Her Excellency with regards to the stellar growth that the economy has achieved. So that between 2015 and 2019, the Dominican Republic attained some 6.1% annual growth in its economy. And in 2019, the country was on track to realize its ambition of achieving high income status by 2030. This impressive and sustained growth, fueled by key sectors such as tourism, remittances, mining, finance, and telecommunications, has resulted in a reduction in poverty and social inequality. Similar to those other countries, regionally and internationally, the Dominican Republic has had to grapple with the deleterious social and socioeconomic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. We take note, with commendation, of course, of the quick response of the Dominican government to mitigate the effect of this global health crisis through the implementation of bold initiatives, while steadfastly pushing forward in its effort to advance its growth and development agenda. And I must say that we looked on with some bit of envy at the rate of recovery that you have achieved and the extent of vaccination that you achieved with a short period of time. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, within the bilateral context, since the establishment of diplomatic relations between our two countries in December 1964, the partnership has been grounded in shared values and a mutual respect for the self-determination and progress of our peoples. Indeed, over the past 57 going years, we have moved to promote the expansion of our relations through the establishment of bilateral agreements that promote mutually beneficial cooperation in trade and investment, culture, energy, tourism, and air services. And I'm very pleased to have participated in one of those exercises as we now look forward to a new strategy of tourism development within the region under the aegis of multi-destination tourism. And just to indicate that I just returned from the Middle East, where we have been having discussions in relation to promoting multi-destination tourism in the region by getting the larger and more important carriers of the GCC countries that are the drivers of hard, long-haul traffic into our space to think Caribbean, to establish aviation hub within our area, and to facilitate movement within the Caribbean, particularly the northern Caribbean areas of Dominican Republic, Mexico, Cuba, and Jamaica. Of course, you will forgive me for detailing this little point, that I made it our point of duty to say that DOMREP is a great partner, but Jamaica should be the hub. In the last 4 years, we have had an exchange of official visits by our respective head of state and government. And during these high-level visits, we were able to sign memoranda of understanding for cooperation in areas such as multi-destination tourism, which I spoke about a while ago, trade, and investment promotion. These exchanges are demonstrations of the mutual interest and commitment of both governments to further advance and strengthen this important partnership. As sister nations of the Caribbean and small island developing states, Jamaica and the Dominican Republic share similar priorities and are exposed to similar inherent vulnerabilities. As such, notwithstanding our differences in cultural practices and language, the bonds of friendship that bind us have been rooted in more than a shared excellence in the music, dance, and sports, some of which Her Excellency spoke so eloquently about, and indeed the particular dance group that has graced our presence and delighted our audiences over the last few years and trained a number of other Jamaicans to appreciate their repertoire, but more so to even advance it at a higher level than what was brought to their attention, because Jamaicans are like that. We just want to get a glimpse of what you have we take it and we do it better every time. We continue to stand in solidarity with each other, especially as we navigate these unprecedented times. In that connection, I take this opportunity to reiterate the gratitude of the government and people of Jamaica for the generosity of the Dominican government in donating 50,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine in November 2021 to aid in our response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In closing, I take the opportunity to again reiterate the importance that Jamaica accords to its relations with the Dominican Republic. There is so much that we can do together to foster new ways to deepen our collaboration and to strengthen our partnership, including through partnerships and exchanges between our governments and our respective private sectors. You have said much about that, Excellency, and I endorse it. And I look forward to a strengthening of that relationship as more Jamaican entities will avail the market opportunities of the Dominican Republic, as indeed you're doing on this side. And I look forward to working with you in building out more of the partnerships, particularly in tourism and in the building of experiential tourism that will bring a stronger flow of visitors between our two countries, but more importantly, to build capacity among us to absorb the demand of tourism, to the strengthening of our respective economies and the building of the prosperity of our people. Jamaica remains committed to our partnership with the Dominican Republic through meaningful dialogue and mutually beneficial collaborative efforts as our respective countries strive to achieve sustainable growth and development. Colleagues, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I may invite Her Excellencies to now join me as Jamaica proposes a toast to the government and people of the Great Republic, the Dominican Republic, on their 178th anniversary of independence, and to wish them continued growth, peace, and prosperity in the years ahead. Salute.
Let's start the party. Let the
party begin.
Exactly.